Well, hey everybody, I'm Paul. Welcome to my channel. You know, the other day I got a comment from a guy saying he would like to see more of my simple, cheap, easy to do meals, and I am always happy to oblige. I got one for you today. How about we make some cube steaks? I just got some fresh ones from my farmer buddy that raises the cattle here locally, and I'll show you what they look like and how we fix them. Okay, so you can see they're not overly huge, but I got a good number of them. I got like 7 of them here. They're not substantially larger than a large burger patty, but they work out really well. So here's a few of the things you're going to need. And I like to keep things very simple, just things that you're likely to have on hand. You can use regular flour and put some salt and pepper in it. I happen to like this stuff. This is Kentucky Kernel seasoned flour, and it's got some really nice flavor to it, but regular flour will indeed work. You'll need some onion type of soup. You know, it can be liquid, it could be dry. Now this isn't mandatory. You could use some sliced mushrooms or canned mushrooms, but I like the flavor of this golden mushroom from Campbell's, so I'm going to put some of that in there. Okay, so this is the fun part. You get to get your fingers a little bit dirty. Now, there's always a great debate. Should you put your meat in the egg before you cover it with the flour, or do you just go straight in with it? I've done both. I can't really say it makes a big difference, so do whichever you feel most comfortable with. I've found usually that if the meat is just it's always like somewhat damp, just a little bit, and that seems to get the stuff to clean just fine. But if you feel that the egg does better, the old guy's certainly not going to be one to argue with you. Okay, so I'm using the Old Lodge cast iron. I've got to heat it up just a little bit, and I am just going to pour a little drizzle here of some oil. Now these steaks are not going to take long at all. They are about as thin as you can get, so they are going to cook pretty quick. I remember watching, I forget it was way back in probably the 70s. He was an Asian guy that did a cooking show, and he said something along the lines of hot pan, cold oil, your chicken won't stick. So there we go. That's looking pretty good. So we'll just let that go. I'm guessing like 5 minutes maybe. Then we'll flip them over. They are very thin, so it shouldn't take long. I gotta tell you, they need to work on smell-o-vision, because these are smelling so good right now. It's going to be hard to wait. I'm just flipping them. Putting them in a little bit of flour again. Now, if yours are thin like mine, you'll see they cook mighty quick. These haven't been on there and they're already 190, so doesn't take long. The thing is, it's going to take a couple batches, or at least that's how it is for mine. Okay, so I took out the done ones. Now, you're going to want to kind of repeat. Put in a little bit of oil. I'll tell you, these ones, I had a little piece, and they are so melt in your mouth, delicious. The salt, pepper, just hit you, and it is good. But we're not done. We're not stopping here. All right, we've taken off the last of the steaks. Now this is decision time. Now I like having a little bit of the leftovers in my gravy, but Ben's not that big on having crispy stuff, so what I will do is just get the bulk of it right out of there. I mean, you could even get it perfect if you want. We will put our steak on. And here's a can of water to go with it. And here is our onion soup mix. Now, of course, you can always substitute. You can use some beef bouillon. I think I might add me a little can of mushrooms. So here's what I like, are the whole bun ones. I know a lot of folks like, and I drained them. I know a lot of folks like the sliced ones, and that's fine. I like how they taste when you bite into one of these whole button ones. You get them nice and juicy flavor. One little can seems about right. Now that was with 1 can of water. You can add another can, I would say do it to taste. I like a flavorful gravy, and this gives you a very flavorful gravy. If it's too strong for you, you're going to want to water it down and then use your flour that you had left over from making this and use that to thicken it up. If you like a weaker gravy, but you can see the onions coming out. Now, of course, if you had raw onions, you could chop that in and do that up when you're doing your meat. If people in your house like a bunch of onions, I do, but not everybody does. Now, some folks will add their steaks back into the gravy to warm them up. You could put your steaks over potatoes, put the gravy on top of them. The sky's the limit, If you're trying to lose weight and going low carb, you can put the steak on a plate and put some of this over, and it is fine. We could plate it just like that. Nothing wrong with the way that's looking in my mind. Just drizzle some of that on there. Oh, isn't that a picture? That is pretty as a picture. Well, anyways, guys, thanks so much for stopping by and spend a few minutes with the old guy. Until next time, we'll see you.